But let's talk now about warm versus cool. I think this is in many ways a better way to approach a painting, is to think of it in terms of warm light and cool light, because when you do, you will actually answer a lot of questions that come up. So a lot of times people will say, well, I don't know what color to pick, and I should probably just pull this right in. I don't know which colors to choose for my illustration. If now this is a painting by Marco Bucci, and if you simply do what he's doing here, which is to say the night sky is going to be cool, and then I'm going to have this warm light inside that's going to be shining light around, it's going to actually give you a lot of the answers that you're looking for as far as colors go. Because then when you start to work value, you might say, well, this is a green monster, and so what he's probably saying is this is the local color of the green monster, somewhere in this range right here. But then he's saying, but when the blue light hits it, it's going to turn to this color, and when the warm light hits it, it's going to start changing colors this way. And you don't have to actually go in and choose colors so much as you just have to follow the rules set by the different light sources. And I think this is it's a way that will help build color harmony, because you're going to see the same blue, this light repeating down here. You're going to see some of the blue. I don't know if you can see it that well, but you can see some of that same blue down here in the rug. He's putting it. He's just kind of putting hints, and he paints with bold strokes, and so he's just kind of putting some painterly colors in here. But then you also have the warm that's repeating throughout the painting. So there's warm hitting everywhere, and you can't help but have a harmonious painting if you're working that way. If you think about everything in terms of warm and cool, now in some situations it's going to be a lot more subtle. This is really exaggerated. But if we look at, if we go back and look at this one really quick, this one doesn't have that brilliant blue, right? This is mostly oranges. But if you remember, hopefully you've either taken color history or color theory, or you got our attended our free session on work using color. What did we call it? What's working with color, right?
Yeah, working with color.
In there we talked about warm and cool colors just a little bit. We glanced on it and we said anything that's not orange, orange is the hottest and blue is the coolest, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then anything away from orange is also cool. So this color up here is cooler than orange. So that's moving away from the light, from that warm, hot light. So it's cool. This is also cooler down here. So and so is this. So anything moving away from that, all these values in the back are cooler. Even this color right here, even though it's really warm, it's not as warm as that orange. So it's actually cooler as well. So it's almost like that game when you play with kids where you hide something in the room. You say warmer, warmer, cooler, cooler. It's all relative to the source, right, or to where the object's hidden.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Any questions on that?
No.
Part?
Well, John says, I'm amazed at how critical your initial illustration is in order to obtain all these attributes.
Yeah, the actual sketch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it really is. Let's look at another warm and cool painting here.
Wow, that's a great painting.
It is. And it's so successful because what it's doing, what's happening here is your eye immediately goes to the red, like we talked about. So red is a great color for the focal point and for the place where you want people to look. Everything out here, again, this is what This is what your mind is going to tell you, is that snow is cold and that snow is white, but all this snow is just super dark, you know. But it's also cool. It's got a slight bluish cast to it. It's actually in the green family, so it's definitely cooler than orange. We'll get some of these tones up here, but they're definitely not saturated. What's that?
Just a question from David. He says, so should we think about it in terms of warmth of the source, not specific lighting on objects?
Yeah, I would definitely do that. I always ask myself, what color or quality is the light that I'm working with? And if you can't identify that, you're really at a loss, because you're not going to be able to identify the types of colors that you're using. So in this range right here, all these colors that are in this warm light are all warmer. Even this here, the color on his hat here.
Even the snow.
Yeah, the snow.
Which you'd think is, the cool, would have
right.
The cool colors.
These hot yellows are all because that light source is warm. And so even these greens are in the warmer side of green. So if we look at that, they're in the orange. They're actually here, right here in the orange. That's one thing that I really learned when I started using this color picker, is that you can get a lot of greens in the orange family right in here. These all can appear green depending on what they're next to. So the reason that these greens actually look green, even though they're not even close to the green family, is because they're next to these cooler colors back here. So it's all relative. So if we get this color back here, that actually makes this color right here appear more green. Okay. Here's a few more situations. One that I did where I'm letting the light of the evening sun dictate the colors of everything. So, there's warmth that's hitting the house. There's warmth that's hitting the saddle of the horse. There's warmth that's hitting, and these are orange colors, and you think, well, the hat of a cowboy has got to be brown, but if you let things let the colors dictate from the quality of light, so in this case the warm light, it will influence every single object. So again, if we were to pick out colors on all these cacti, we would see that they're all in the warm yellowy family, not in the saturated green family. This is an illustration where this illustrator is using warmth to actually be the focal point. So everything is cool, but then the warmth is mostly on this bear and this kid that's flying, and so it just becomes an amazing focal point. Remember, warm colors will always come forward, and cool colors will tend to recede, so it's really hard to reverse that. It's really hard to have things that are really cool be the focal point. You can definitely do it, but you have to really plan it out. Here's another one where you definitely have this warm and cool, the warm light, the cool lights and the shadows, and all the colors in between are kind of being influenced by that.